Do you know how CBD products are actually made and how important the growing and extraction process is to determine the quality of the product that you buy? Well, today you're going to find out. I got to film integrative cannabis physician Dr. June Chin get a tour of Hudson Hemp Farm in upstate New York with Melanie Dobson. It was just so cool that I just can't wait for you to check it out. I'm Risa Morimoto, your host, and you're watching Modern Aging, where we chat about innovative and holistic ways to elevate our health and well-being as we age. If you're new to the channel, I'd love for you to subscribe. All you got to do is click on that little red button below with that little bell next to it to be sure to be notified whenever a new episode is uploaded. And you can also check out our website at thisismodernaging.com for our latest articles, podcast episodes, courses, and of course videos. So today's video is actually an excerpt of a full video that you can watch in our new program called The Essential Guide to Cannabis and CBD for Women's Health. But for now, you got to check out this tour of Hudson Hemp Farm.
So take me through this process of what just happened here on this field.
So the plant has a 90-day life cycle, and these are seedlings now. They'll be harvested in the fall. And throughout the growing season, we tend to them by watering them, of course, adding compost to the soil and adding nutrients to the soil through compost teas, which we make here. So we actually create a kind of fermented medicine to feed the soil and feed the plants. And come fall time, we hand harvest each plant and cure them in a drying facility. And then from there, we take our plants through a cold alcohol extraction process. And what makes that process really special for us is that we use USDA certified organic cold alcohol, and then we evaporate that from the final product and continue to distill and concentrate whatever cannabinoid we want to. In this case, CBD or CBG is primarily what we're doing.
So this is really handcrafted, artisan, small batch farm, family farm.
It is.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah. And you're doing all this. I mean, what are the benefits of doing this by hand in small batches versus just hiring, huge machinery and doing it in the masses?
Each cannabis plant has the ability to yield several pounds if you care for it correctly. And when you tap into the intelligence of each variety we grow, by using your hands and paying attention, you impart like a characteristic to the medicine and to the flavor and to all of these other aspects to the plant that make up your medicine. And I think it's really similar to food. There's such a disconnect between food and medicine that's starting to kind of re-meet. But when you have food harvested from a local organic farm, you can taste the flavor. And when you think about that in terms of cannabis, the flavor is very much a part of the medicine. So the more depth you can bring to the flavor and the quality and the yield, the better the end product will be and the more effective, and the greater the therapeutic window will be as well.
That makes a lot of sense to me, because when I shop and I get my Amish eggs that are, cage-free, unwashed, there's definitely a big difference than if I go to my local supermarket and I just buy whatever's on sale. I've read so much about, the sustainability practices of the cannabis industry and really how the massive greenhouse grows from the West Coast and shipping it over to the East Coast is really not sustainable. So I would love to hear about what is regenerative farming, what is regenerative agriculture, and why is it so important?
So regenerative agriculture really means, in essence, that you're giving more than you're taking from the soil. And in doing so, you're building your soil organic matter and actually bringing carbon that otherwise would be released into the atmosphere back down into the soil and storing it there. And by doing so, you're creating a real living soil web that is self-sufficient and sustaining. And when you do that, you need less water, you need less compost or fertilizer, because the soil and the plants are able to find symbiosis in their relationship, and the plants are able to really reach for what they need because they're extraordinarily intelligent. How you're doing that is low to no-till practices. So here we are standing on a plot of land that has been tilled. However, it will never be tilled again. This was us literally breaking ground. Another thing is rotating your crops. So the more we plant the same thing in the same place over and over again, the more we deplete that soil of what it needs, because we're just taking the same nutrients from it over and over again. So diversity, biodiversity, making sure that on your farm there's more than one value-added crop, and being really crafty about how you're rotating.
So I love that point that you talked about regenerative agriculture, because as an integrative physician, that's how I think about health and healing and preventative wellness and the future of medicine. Because when we're taking in plant-based medicine, when we are playing an active role about using this for health and wellness in a preventative way, we also have to think about where the medicine comes from. So it's a holistic agricultural view, and then it's a holistic wellness view. And they're very interrelated.
Yes, yes.